Yeah, so Jotaro becomes Musashi's Twitter account. In other words, he uses him to kind of find information to poke around the cities while Musashi's out learning and practicing his trade. He also uses him to send messages back and forth. And back then in the 1600s, obviously they didn't have any computers, so they wrote letters to each other, notes and all that. So he's in charge of carrying a message to the Yoshioka school and carrying it back to Musashi, but he gets himself into trouble. Just as he started to run off, the young woman called after him. "Wait, there's no need to go back. I can see the samurai coming this way. The one in the field hakama." She pointed towards the man. Jotaro stopped and waited, his eyes wide. The samurai was an impressive man of about 40. Everything about him was a little bigger than life. His height, his jet black beard, his broad shoulders, his massive chest. He wore leather socks and straw sandals, and when he walked, his firm footsteps seemed to compact the earth. Jotaro, certain at a glance that this was a great warrior in the service of one of the more prominent daimyos, felt too frightened to address him. Fortunately, the samurai spoke first, summoning the boy. "Weren't you the imp who dropped this bamboo tube in front of the Mampukuji?" he asked. "Oh, that's it. You found it. Don't you know how to say thank you?" "I'm sorry. Thank you, sir." "I dare say there's an important letter inside it. When your master sends you on a mission, you shouldn't be stopping along the way to tease horses, hitching rides on wagons, and loafing by the wayside." "Yes, sir." You can see here that this samurai's got an aura about him, and Musashi has that same thing. And not only does he have it, but he knows and he can sense it in other people. So as we move along, we'll see this pop up in other chapters. And not only does the samurai have that aura, so does Otsu. And here we go. Moving along. She laughed. "This isn't a letter tube, silly. It's a flute." "A flute?" Eyes burning with curiosity, Jotaro unabashedly moved his head close to her waist to inspect the object. Suddenly, a strange feeling came over him. He pulled back and seemed to examine the girl. Even children have a sense of feminine beauty, or at least they understand instinctively whether a woman is pure or not. Jotaro was impressed with the girl's loveliness and respected it. It seemed to him an unimaginable stroke of luck that he should be walking along with one so pretty. His heart throbbed and he felt giddy. So, Jotaro encounters Shoda Kazemon, a samurai of the highest order from the Yagyu Valley. And you can tell he's quite the gentleman, right? The story goes along, and him and Otsu and Jotaro stop at a little tea shop to have a chat and to figure out where Otsu is going and if she will make it before the sun goes down. Because at this time, the samurai throughout Japan are kind of disenfranchised. They don't have masters because most of them have either lost the war or they're being still set up into the new government. So a lot of Ronin are roaming the cities. It's lawless out there. Shoda warns her about walking into Nara alone because of the crime in the major cities. The cities are packed with crime. It's no good. And the wickedness that's upon Japan at this moment in history. So Shoda Kazemon tells her about where he's from, and he offers her a job playing the flute for their master, Sheki Shusai. And you'll hear his name again later. This chapter here touches on the presence of a person, the aura of a person, of a good male role model and a good female role model. And I wanted to hit on that. You don't see very many good role models anymore. You just don't. It's the weirdness is out there. And these books take you back to a time when drinking tea, talking was something that you did. You didn't stare at your phone. You didn't go to the bars and just drink your life away. You drank tea and you talked about the countryside. You talked about the goodness of life and you helped each other out. The proprietor poured a cup of tea for himself and told them what he knew of the situation in Nara. Most people, it seemed, had an impression that the old capital was a quiet, peaceful place where there were lots of colorful temples and tame deer, a place undisturbed by war or famine. But in fact, the town was no longer like that at all. After the Battle of the Sekigahara, nobody knew how many Ronin from the losing side had come to hide there. Most of them were Osaka partisans from the Western Army, samurai who had now no income and little hope of finding another profession. With the Tokugawa shogunate growing in power year by year, it was doubtful whether these fugitives would ever again be able to make a living out in the open with their sword. So there's a real dilemma. And Shoda Kazimo knows about it, and he guards his Yagyu fife. He guards it. They don't let many people in there, and they're gonna allow Otsu to take up a job there, playing the flute for the old master there. So there is a glimmer of good hope and good essence here with Shoda Kazimon and Otsu. There's still purity in the world. Peace, be well, and we'll talk soon.